Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 404. I'm Phil Graham, and today I'm going to be sharing my simple guide to low-budget Facebook and Instagram ads in 2025. I'm so glad you guys are here. I can't believe this Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. So my annual Super Bowl marketing commercial episode will be next week. I can't wait for that. It's always fun to talk about what was good and what wasn't, and more importantly, why and how you might be able to use it. So make sure you listen to that next week. But for today, I'm excited because many marketers and advertisers struggle with ads. And many times, if you've got a budget that isn't very large, it's even harder to succeed because you have less room for error. And a lot of people also who don't have a lot of ad spend, unfortunately, they trust their ads to someone that doesn't know what they're doing because they're not charging very much. And it just exacerbates the issue. Or they try and do it themselves. Maybe they don't have enough skill and they don't get what they want. So today I want to talk about some strategies that I recommend for trying to get the most out of your ad budget. This could even work on a higher ad budget, but certainly it's tailored to a low ad budget as we're talking about it today. Now, before we jump in, if you guys are looking for some help, whether you've got a high budget or a low budget, whatever the case may be, if you want some help with your ads, maybe you want some one-on-one coaching, maybe you want to learn more about how to leverage AI with your business, with your ads, or maybe you want somebody to run your ads for you. For any of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. We can schedule a call on Zoom, and I would love to connect with you. And I want to start off by saying that there are lots of variables. So I'm going to give some general recommendations, but everybody's situation is a little bit different, so just keep that in mind. And that kind of should go without saying, but I like to say it anyway. There's a lot of people out there that just say ridiculous things, and I don't want you to get taken advantage of. It's very important to know that there's variables and you want to test and follow that data. So let's start with number one. All right. One of the things I like to do when there's a smaller budget is I like to have hyper-focused targeting, because a lot of times this can help minimize what I would consider wasted ad spend. Now, I like Advantage Plus audiences a lot, but it's not right for every advertiser or every situation. Sometimes it can get really expensive or even take a long time to work if it ever works even at all. But if you know who your customers are, you know the kind of people they are and how to reach them and how to target them effectively, you can create these segmented audiences that are specifically them. And then you can also create segmented ad copy that matches that audience, that really speaks to them. And then you can send them to a seamless landing page. That's something that I love to do that sometimes can work really well. You can even use lookalike audiences in some situations if it's based off of people that have purchased or become leads. One of the things I like to do with this hyper-focused targeting is to sometimes stack a behavior along with an interest and a demographic. So I've got 2 or 3 different things together, and I really match my ad copy specific to that kind of person. And then you can follow it up by creating some custom segmented retargeting audiences for the people that engage at the top of the funnel. This is something that is just ultra powerful. I think it works so well for us, and I highly recommend doing it at any budget level, but especially at lower budgets. If you can also do Advantage Plus, that's great. I do recommend that as well. But if you're struggling with your ads, this hyper-focused targeting could be a game changer. Tip number 2 is I recommend you guys start sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes start with an engagement ad to try and build some credibility and trust while giving value. Remember to use my formula too. You want to give value, you want to entertain people, you want to inspire people, and you want to differentiate. An engagement ad is something that might be able to allow you to do that sometimes for a lower cost. Now, it's not always, so you do want to follow the data on that. But sometimes we do that. We get a lower cost. We reach more people. You might do video views. You might do post engagement. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But this is something that I really like doing. I don't always start with this. Sometimes I'll start with a sales ad and do that kind of content from within a sales ad. I'll test that too. But I would definitely recommend testing an engagement ad, seeing what that does for you, and then you can follow it up with retargeting. In terms of the content itself, I recommend videos first and foremost. Make them short, make them effective. We just did an episode on how to create great videos, so you can go back and listen to that last week if you missed it. When you're doing engagement ads, if you can get a lower cost, it's a great testing ground for your ads. And then you can scale what works and fix what doesn't. Number 3, I definitely recommend for smaller budgets and even larger budgets, a multi-pronged retargeting approach. So a lot of people just typically retarget everyone, and there's nothing wrong with that. We do that too. But in certain situations, we will also do some very specialized segmented retargeting. So if somebody engaged with a certain specific offer or a pain point or a certain product or service, if somebody offers more than one, we might send them a retargeting ad based off of that exact thing they engaged with. It's very specific. And we're just sending it to the group of people that did engage it. Another obvious one is if you're e-commerce, an abandoned cart retargeting offer. Or if you're not e-commerce, maybe you have a lead form and they visit the form, but they don't become a lead. That's an abandoned lead opportunity. So you can retarget them. So get very specific with some of your retargeting. And then, of course, continue to do your broad overall retargeting as well. And then lastly, number 4, I recommend doing some creative testing, but on a conservative budget. So you got to be careful though. So if you don't have a large budget, a big mistake I see people make is they spread themselves too thin. They might run 5, 10 different ads and they're all tiny little budgets. It might take you 9 months to ever know if any of those work because you've spread it too thin. In a lot of cases, you might be better off just doing one ad and letting it run with the full budget for a couple weeks, and then you'll get some strong data. And then you can pause that and try another one. There's different ways to go about it. Depends on your budget level, but be careful not to do too many small ads because you got to make sure it gets enough reach to know whether it worked or not. That means you got to let it run long enough. And then you want to adapt and adjust to the data, not just your emotions. And then remember, just keep leveraging video ads, try image ads and carousels too. But on a smaller budget, I'm going to use mostly video ads most of the time because there's so many opportunities. They can really go a long way. So those are some ideas, my friends, on low budget strategies for Facebook and Instagram ads in 2025. Of course, I've got more and I'll be sharing more in future episodes. If you guys want to connect, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. And as always, just a reminder, every business is unique. Results can vary. There are no guaranteed outcomes. So just always keep that in mind. Episode 404 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.